Okay, so first of all, let me just say how excited I am to be back. I missed y'all so much. I was just trying to get through the end of the semester, but it's over. It's summertime. We're footloose and fancy free right now. So yeah, this weekend was just a dream. Between the royal wedding, which was amazing, perfection, everything I thought was going to be plus more, and then the premiere of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After ? Oh my god, amazing. Let's just get right into it. So I feel like this season premiere did not disappoint. I was here for it. Well, except for there's some things that we'll get to it, but I was here for pretty much everything in that episode. They gave us drama. They left us on a cliffhanger with Nicole and Azen. And so it's like, it just whetted our appetite for this season. The previews look like it's going to be explosive, dramatic, awesome, amazing. I can't wait. This summer is going to be lit. Let's get into this recap, okay? I'm not going to make y'all wait any longer. So let's start off with the most boring couple ever on the face of the planet. We're going to go ahead and get them out of the way. And that would be Russ and Farrah Abraham. So Russ and Farrah Abraham, huh? Oh, that's not Farrah. Yeah, Farrah. Farrah Abraham. That wasn't Farrah. Oh, that was Paula. Paula. Excuse me, guys. I thought that. You sure? Okay, that was not Farrah Abraham. Apparently, I've just been informed that it was Paula Mayfield and Russ. Why are they here? TLC, what are we doing? What are we doing with this? What is this? What's going on here? I don't understand why I continue season after season have to watch Russ and Paula. I wasn't interested in them when they were on 90 Day Fiance. I wasn't interested in them all the seasons that they've had them on where are they now, or Happily Ever After. And I'm not interested in them now. They have no storyline. They're boring. They're still doing the fighting over her being a model. Okay, she wants to be a butt model. She's going to be a porn star in a little while. Russ doesn't like it, but he stays with her and she continues to model. So I don't see the point of arguing over it. Why are we talking about this? Who cares? They have nothing. I don't even have anything to talk about, y'all. Let me check my notes. See if I wrote anything down. Because see here. No storyline. Why are they here? That's what I have in my notes. I don't know what y'all want me to say. What we gonna do? Talk about Russ's hair? I mean, that's a whole situation in and of itself. He looked so much better when he had a cute, white guy haircut, like shaved sides and kind of long in the top. That's the look that he needs to keep from now until the end of time. He's trying this whole long bang Justin Bieber swoop thing. And then it was like greasy looking or wet. I don't know if he had just gotten out of the shower and it was wet, or was it greasy? I don't know, but it looked terrible. He needs to sit down. Her red hair, I know a lot of people were talking about it. I actually didn't hate the red hair on Paula, but I feel like she's changing colors too much and her hair is damaged now because it was real thin, honey. Hair was sparse up at the top. So I think she needs to lay off on the color, even though I don't hate the red on her. It's not my favorite. I think she needs to stick to her natural color, dark. But I didn't hate the red, but I think she's doing too much bouncing around in the color department, and her hair is like, girl, we can't take no more. We just gonna jump ship and it's just falling out. Yeah, I mean, they have this story with her sick grandma. Okay, that's terrible. I hate it for her. And they're going to Colombia to visit her family. And now they're worried that, she's worried that her family's gonna be blaming Russ for the fact that she hasn't come down there to visit. Okay, I don't care. Who cares? Like, who cares? Okay, y'all are going to Colombia to see her family. And then in the previews, it looked like it was going to be some made-up drama and a fake argument because she is not a good actress. She needs to be a model. Still pictures of her friend. Because that little fake scene where they was having that argument and she stormed out, I don't know what that was. TLC, do better. Come harder. Okay, we can eliminate this couple completely. You could have replaced them with Paul and Karine. Where is Paul? Where is my Paul and Karine? Are they still talking via text translation on the phone? Did he ever learn Portuguese? Did he ever jump in the lake? I need answers. They also could replace them with Muhammad and Danielle. I know Danielle's still chasing Muhammad across the country because Muhammad ain't got deported, honey. He is living life in Texas. And I know she is steaming somewhere. I would love to see an update on them. Anybody but Russ and Paula. Replace this couple. Let's move on. I'm really done talking about them. I'm over it. Next. So we're going to move on to Pedro and Chantal. Pedro and Chantal really got on my nerves this episode. But you know what? I really kind of felt bad for Chantal because that's what these guys do that come from these, especially those Hispanic countries. All they're really looking for is to get into America so they can get a good job and send money back home. That is object number one for them. I mean, yeah, the love and finding a wife and all that, that's secondary to them. Like, for some reason, those Hispanic countries, those men, like, their mama and their family, it's so rooted in them. They love their family so much that they'll do anything to help their family out. His mama and sister are probably two of the worst human beings I've ever seen in life. They are moochers. They probably sent Pedro and was like, go ahead and marry this girl, and then you're gonna send us money every month. They are literally living in a studio apartment where the bed is next to the kitchen sink. They're not saving any money, she says. They bought a new car, which I don't know why they would do that, but they bought a new car, so they got a car note that they can't afford. Chantal's trying to go to nursing school. She got to buy books, her white coat, her stethoscope, and all this stuff, and he's sending money home, and they eating ramen noodles and sleeping next to the garbage disposal. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So then they had this whole TV thing. So apparently Pedro promised his mama that he would send her a TV. You heard me right. He promised his mama that he would send her a TV, not money, an actual TV. Now, what got me was how many times they were literally trying to get this TV sent. Like, trying to ship a TV to the Dominican Republic. They don't have TVs down there? They don't have electronic stores? I mean, I've been to the Dominican Republic, and I remember there being a TV in my hotel room. So I'm pretty sure they have TVs there. Take your behind to Western Union and send your mama $500 and let it be the end of it. Why are we shipping a TV? So then they come into Kinko's, and the Kinko's girl looking at them like they crazy because they said they want to ship a TV to the Dominican Republic, and she like, hey, whatever y'all want to do, that's y'all business. It's going to be $1,000. And then they're acting like, oh my God, this is too much. No, this is a stupid idea. Why are we shipping a TV? We could have had this discussion. And then they had to pay $60 for the box because they had already packed it up. I mean, Chantal, you can't be this dumb, baby. You can't be. Is your brain in your boobs? Because you and him, both of y'all need a chaperone. Y'all need an adult. If y'all can't go to the store and figure out that, hey, maybe we shouldn't ship a whole 50-inch TV thousands of miles away. Maybe we should just wire mama some money so she can go to her local Best Buy and get a TV. Then y'all need a helmet and a chaperone. I don't know what else to say about these two. I don't know. But, you know, I don't like talking about future stuff, but the previews looking real juicy with their family. Look like Pedro put his paws on River, and River probably deserved it. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. I'm done with these two. They need help, and not her family, because her mama ain't too bright either. They need an outside adult to come in and help them and lead them down the path, because them two together, it's something missing up there. It's something missing up there. I ain't never seen nobody in my life try to ship a whole TV. Never. Never. I'm done with them two. Let's move on. Alright, third, I'm going to get through these first three couples real quick, fast, and in a hurry, because I only have a couple things to say about them, and then we're moving on to the nitty gritty. Third is Luis and Molly. So after a couple weeks after Luis left Molly, she broke down and asked him to come back home. I guess she was sad and lonely and missing some D. So she was like, I need you to come back home. And he did, of course, because he had nowhere else to go. So they show them in the kitchen being playful, like they're all in love and happy. Luis is just playing the role because he had nowhere else to go. I mean, he's still trying to live this American dream. He's still trying to play that scam game where he's going to find a job and get a green card and send money back home just like all the other of them do. The issue here is that Molly has kids. Yes, Olivia and Kinsley are still up in the house and they are still not having any of Luis's BS. Now, Olivia was pretty much the only voice of reason, who basically said when you're an adult, you can't just skip out on your responsibilities whenever you get upset, which is true. She has a point. Kinsley had no words for Luis. And then Luis in turn threw shade at Kinsley and said, I wish you could be like this all the time. I would have blew up on him, first of all, if that was Molly. But, you know, Molly just, Lord, poor Molly. I think Molly just hadn't been with a man in so long that she's just willing to do anything to make him happy so he'll stay. Don't make him mad or he'll leave. That's her philosophy in life. I really hope that Molly comes to her senses and sees that he's not trying to raise her kids. She really wants him to be a dad. She really wants him to take this fatherly role in her kids' lives and this husband and this head of household. He is a child. First of all, he's 27, but in his brain, he's literally like 17. He is not ready for parenthood. He's not ready for adulthood. She needs to cut her losses, divorce him, and just let him go back home so he can go back to the resort he was bartending at and try again with a woman who might be a little bit younger, maybe doesn't have small kids, doesn't need to be a father. That's what she needs to do. This marriage is terrible. It needs to end. It's not going anywhere. No good. Nada. Throw it away. Throw it in the trash. Let's move on to the next couple. Alright, so third is George and Anfisa. So we start off this season with George and Anfisa separated. So Anfisa's still staying in the apartment that they were in originally. George has moved out and is staying with his family. Now, I have a couple questions, and you guys can kind of sound in the comments if you have these same questions too, or maybe you have an answer. So is George like living with his parents but still paying Anfisa's rent? Because I'm confused as to how Anfisa has this apartment still that she gonna kick George out, but lights and everything still on. How is the rent being paid here? George is acting like he's all down and out, honey. He's distraught. He is disheveled. He looks a mess. His hair is a mess. He is just, oh, I mean, just stressed out to the core. I can feel it. So he goes to this little divorce. I don't even know what that was. I guess they were divorce lawyers. It was kind of strange. But he went with his sister, who was like super excited that George was going talking about divorce because she didn't like Anfisa from jump. And so, you know, he's talking about all this stuff and how he doesn't have any money all of a sudden anymore. He had a business, which we know he sold weed, or he grew weed, or he did marijuana dispensaries or something like that. And now he's saying all of a sudden his business is not worth any money, which is strange to me because how is the medical marijuana business losing money in this kind of, like, at this point in time, that business should be skyrocketing. Like, he should be making money hand over fist, but that's none of my business. George said his business went under. I'm gonna take his word for it. So he ain't got no money. Anfisa's mad, so she threw him out because he's broke now, because of course he winded down there and tricked to get her, and she was accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Now everybody want to go off on Anfisa and call her a gold digger. Now, here's my philosophy on that. Do I think Anfisa is a gold digger? Yes. Anfisa is definitely a gold digger by definition of what a gold digger is. That is someone who only wants to be with a person or date a person or marry a person for the money or for the things that they can buy for them. That's exactly what Anfisa was doing. Point blank period. She's a gold digger. But in defense of Anfisa, George knew what she was when he met her. He fed that gold digger spirit in her by taking her on trips, buying her thousands of dollars worth of plastic surgery, purses, shoes, makeup, clothes, everything else her heart desired for those few months that they were together. Took her all around Europe, all over the world. So the fact that she's a gold digger, we really can't even throw that back in her face anymore, because she never said she wasn't. She never portrayed to not be one. She put it out there up front what she was, and he said, cool, because I got money. Come on, baby. And then when the money ran out, now he wants to demonize her for being a gold digger and saying, oh, you don't really love me for me. Oh, you just want me for my money or what I can buy you. Yeah, George, that's how you got her. So let's kill this whole Anfisa's bad. I mean, yeah, they're both crappy human beings. Neither one of them is the good guy in this scenario. But George lied. I mean, he was tricking. He made Anfisa think he was a millionaire, and he probably had... His business might have been worth $1 million. I don't think he ever had $1 million in liquid money. But his business was probably $1 million business. I'm sure he moved millions of dollars at some point, but I don't think he ever had $1 million sitting in the bank. He probably had a couple $100,000. I'm not saying George was broke. George had money, but he just spent it all way too quick up front and then didn't think about what was going to happen later. And now he wants to demonize Anfisa because she was being who she was. Now he's talking about he wants to get a divorce, which I don't actually think he's going to divorce Anfisa. I think Anfisa might leave him because he's broke before he'll leave her. I think George is desperate to have somebody that looks how she looks with that bald body. I mean, he thinks she looks good. She looks good from the neck down. Anfisa's one of those girls that looks cute from the neck down. Anfisa's face is a wreck. Anfisa like the Joker, and y'all can't tell me otherwise. Something about her mouth that turns up weird. I don't know. It creeps me out. But to George, she is fine, and that's what he wants. I don't think George is going anywhere. I think this whole going to the lawyer is a stunt. And I think Anfisa's going to be the one to leave him in the end. But that's just my opinion. The final scene that we saw about George and Anfisa was when he went to go hang out with his homeboy Ramon, who I don't really think was George's friend. I think it was somebody that George has probably sold weed to in the past. I don't think these guys were friends. This was a setup by TLC. Did you see that awkward hug? He didn't even know how to dap him up correctly. There is no way these two guys were friends. George, you're supposed to dap, pat on the back, keep it moving. George didn't know what to do with his arm. It was awkward. He was like, do I shake? Do I what? George didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to greet this man. These two people are not friends. Okay. So then they started talking about the tell-all and what George was saying about Anfisa being a webcam worker or a prostitute or a sex worker or whatever she is. And so George tried to backpedal and say that he lied in the tell-all about what Anfisa did for a living because he was hurt or he was angry and he just wanted to say something to get under her skin. I think George was lying. He was hemming and hawing, backpedaling like I don't know what, trying to make it seem like he made that story up. I don't think he made that up at all. I think Anfisa is a webcam worker. I think that whatever video they're talking about that's out there that Ramon said he didn't click on, which I'm pretty sure he did click on, I think it does exist, and I think she actually does do that. I think that's how she makes money. That seems like something she would do to me. It just makes perfect sense. She sets up the camera just like I set up mine and take her clothes off and and she gets paid for it. That's fine, girl. Do you, whatever. I'm not saying anything good or bad about it, but I think George was lying in that particular moment when he was talking to Ramon. I think he was telling the truth in the tell-all. But either way, either you were lying in the tell-all or you lying now. Either way, you're a liar. So I don't know how George comes out looking good in this scenario at any point, but he's a liar. I think he was telling the truth in the tell-all. I think that she does do that, and I think now that they're kind of not, you know, he's away from that setting, I think he doesn't want that to get out. I think he wants to try to cover it up, so I think he was backpedaling a little bit. But I think she does do that. It makes sense to me. It just fits. Her look, her body type, the fact that she was used to getting all this money from him and now she's not, all of a sudden she has no skill. She can't do anything else. She is her body. What else is she going to do? I mean, really, she's going to model like Paula. Model, which means take naked pictures or lingerie pictures, or she's gonna be a webcam girl, and that's fine. Hey, girl, do you. I mean, hey, I'm not about to condemn anybody for the choices they make, but I will say that I think George was lying. But anyway, I'm done with these two, so let's move on to the next couple. Alright, let's move on to Nicole and Azen. So in this episode, there really wasn't much going on with Nicole and Azen. Azen is in Morocco, and in this episode, it was the day of his interview to see if he could actually come to America and they could start their whole K1 visa process. So for some reason, Nicole wakes up the whole house at 4:30 a.m. because it's like 1 o'clock in Morocco, because Azen's going to his interview. She has not spoken to him. He has not called her and said, hey, I'm about to go in. Wish me luck, baby. I love you. Azen ain't said nothing to her. She ain't heard from him. She just up. She done woke the baby up. She done woke her mama up. And now they sitting in the living room looking at each other. She ain't talked to Azen. She don't know what's about to happen. Why are we awake for this? Why did you wake me up at 4:30 for an interview that I'm not going to? Are they calling me to ask me the question? Okay, well, I'm going back to bed. I didn't understand the purpose of that whole scene. I didn't understand why Nicole had to wake up May and her mama, and why they went and sat in the living room for an interview that she didn't even know if it was happening. She didn't know if it was going well. She didn't get a phone call saying I'm going in. She didn't know if he made it. He might have gotten a car accident on his way to the embassy. Who knows? We haven't heard from Azen. I ain't seen Azen since last season. So we don't know what's happening, but we know we all awake and sitting in the living room drinking tea. He waits all day, and TLC, petty as they are, put the hours up on the screen so we know exactly how long he's gone without letting her know what is going on. 6 hours go by, 10 hours go by, child, the whole day went by. Nicole running around acting a fool in that dirty little efficient. And you know what? If your apartment is the size of my bedroom, you have no excuse not to have that thing clean at all times. Your apartment should be spotless. There's nothing. It's a room. It's one room. That's it. It's a closet. You can't keep a closet clean. You don't do nothing. She don't work all day. She laid down on that bed for 8 hours waiting for Azen to call. And that house dirty, and that baby hair ain't been combed, face ain't been washed or nothing. Nicole is a pitiful excuse for a mother and a human being. She didn't clean up her house. She didn't clean up herself. And she didn't clean up her baby. And her mama came in there and just sat in there My mama would have went off on me. If she came into my house and I was laying around and my house was a mess, my mama would have raised all hell up in there. Get this baby up out of this mess. Clean this up. Wash this baby face. Man, I would have never heard the end of it. My mama couldn't have came in my house with it. My baby looking like that, and me looking like that, and my house looking like that, and just sat there and been like, well, we just gonna wait for him to call. You know, Robbie Lee, you know, and everybody be talking about her like how she be getting on Nicole and all this and that. And yeah, she does drop the truth bombs every once in a while, but she get on my nerves because she sit by and let this stupid junk happen. She condone it. So she partly to blame. She raised Nicole, she raised this monster, and then she just be sitting there listening to her talk about Azen, and she know Azen don't like her. I wouldn't, you're not gonna sit up and talk to me about this man anymore. I don't want to hear it. I might not leave you because I might care about May, my grandbaby, but we not about to sit up and talk about Azen. We about to talk about something else. We about to talk about this house getting clean. We about to talk about this job you about to get. We about to talk about this baby getting her hair combed and her face washed and her learning her ABCs. That's what we about to do. While you drilling her on who's daddy this, daddy that, daddy that. Does she know her ABCs, Nicole? Can she sing the song? But she know who her daddy is. Do she know her colors and her shapes? I'm just concerned. I'm concerned for all of them because it looked like all of them need, they in the boat with Pedro and Chantal. All of them need a helmet and a chaperone. So finally Azen calls and says that everything went well. He was dragging it out. Sounded like he was lying to me. I don't even know if he went to the interview. I don't know. I already told y'all Azen is not coming here. I've said it several times before, and I will say it again. Azen is not coming to America. I don't know if he actually did go to the interview. He might not have showed and just lied and said, oh, it went okay. Or he went and just didn't have no answer for none of the questions. They not about to let Azen come over here. And Azen don't want to come over here. He done seen that closet, that dirty closet she live in on Skype. And he's like, no, I'm not coming to live in that. I'm going to stay with my auntie. So Azen starts to tell her what decision they made. But of course his phone starts breaking up. And that's how the episode ends. So I guess we'll find out next week what happened. But I already told you, Azen's not coming here. Let's move on to the last couple. Last but not least is David and Annie. So David and Annie start out this episode with them going to the pawn shop. So they're broke AF. David still doesn't have a job, which I don't understand why David can't get a job. He's able-bodied. He's got all his teeth. He seems like he got half a brain. You can get a job anywhere, David. So David's still unemployed. Chris and Nikki done sent them a lease talking about they got to pay $1,000 a month in rent. And now they worried that they won't be able to pay it. They got to go down to the pawn shop and pawn this woman's jewelry that they bought in Thailand for their wedding. It was the 11 baht. Remember the 1 + 1 = 11 baht. That's the jewelry that they're pawning now. And it's like, okay, we can just go to work and then you be able to pay Chris and Nikki the rent. I don't understand. I know Annie can't work yet. That's fine. I understand that. But why can't David get a job? Why doesn't David have a job? I don't understand. I don't get this. And then Annie sitting up in them interviews looking like a fool, honey. Remember when Chris offered you that money to run? Is that offer still on the table? Because Annie, you need to take that money and go back home and use whatever's left from the plane ticket, whatever's the leftover, use that money to fortify the hut that y'all live in, buy a couple water buffalo, get the business started, and just start over, try again. Cut your losses. Because David is awful. She came over here to have a better life. She doesn't. Her life is probably worse over here. So what is the purpose of her being with him? She says she believe in him and she love him and she want to stay with him. Girl, believe in what? What do you believe in? He is nothing. He is nobody. Listen, Annie, come here. This is what you're going to do, okay? This is our plan. You see them steps? David, he a little wobbly now. Now push him on down the steps one day. Tumble, he going to snap his neck. You're going to use the insurance money now. Now listen to me. Use the insurance money. Go on back home, girl. Get on that plane and go on back to the house. Use whatever money's left and help your family out and just stay there. Or you can go home and go back to that bar that you was working in as the bar girl and try again. Get another American. But next time when you get an American, double check before you say yes now. Before he proposed to you. Double check and make sure that he actually has coin. Double check. Do a background check on him. Hire a private investigator. Whatever you need to do. Double check. Make sure he got coin. And not somebody else's coin, his own coin. Not that somebody else funded him. His coin. Make sure it's his now. Double check it's his coin, and then you marry him. This man is not for you. You messed up. Okay, you picked a bad American. All of us ain't got money. Some of us are broke. Actually, a lot of us are broke. It's only a few of us that got money. You picked a bad one. Okay, we can just we can start over fresh. Start over new. Okay, cause this situation here that they got going ain't working. This man that brought you back over here to live in a firehouse, and he ain't even got a job yet. Now the firehouse is kind of fly, but he ain't even working. And now y'all gotta pay rent. And now you want to look at Chris and Nikki like they crazy for charging you rent. You're living in one of their homes. Is it weird to have to pay for somewhere you gotta live? Just cause it's your friend? I pay my parents rent. So no, Chris and Nikki have every right to charge them rent. Let's not do this whole guilt tripping. I thought Chris was my friend. I can't believe he did it to me. Shut up. You're living in their house. You ought to be paying rent. The Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat. So I suggest you get up and get a job somewhere. I don't care if it's KFC or somewhere. It's something. You can work at Publix. He can be a manager at Publix. They make good money. Anything. I'm just saying. Well, that's it, y'all. That was the whole episode. That was everybody. All 6 couples. And they are all on the foolish train to Hellville. But we'll see what happens next week when River and Pedro go at it. We'll see what Azen has to say. We're going to see what Molly and Luis talking about. I mean, it looks like this whole season is just going to be jam-packed with foolishness, and I'm here for it. So, if you would like to live tweet with me as we watch these shows on Sunday nights, follow me on Twitter at Nikki P Tweets, NICHI_P_tweets, and I live tweet during the episodes. Go to my About section on my channel and see what other shows I'm watching now. And thanks so much for watching this recap. I can't wait to see you guys same time next week for another episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.